I remember every day, friends from my block would wander out going door to door, calling out everyone to play. No one had a plan, but we always figured something out. Random objects inspired nonsensical made up games, and any abandoned place we found would become our clubhouse. Through seemingly mundane things, we found a sense of wonder and play that felt unique to that time, and that's partly what Despelote tries to capture in its brief but meaningful playtime. It also tries to answer the question, what would it be like to live inside of a sepia filter where doodles and 3D scans sounded like real people and places? You play as Julian, just hanging around in different moments in his life. There are no clear objectives, no major gameplay loops, you're just kinda there. I guess you could say it's a walking simulator, games with little to no gameplay that focus mostly on story elements. But why do games like these exist? Why not just make Despelote into a movie or an animation? What does the overall experience gain from it being a game? I'm gonna try and answer all that, but for that to happen, I need to discuss the game. So if you want to try it out for yourself, now's your chance. So the game starts, and you start the game playing a game within the actual game, and your parents stop that game to put on a game of football. It's 2001. Ecuadorians are passionate about football, and Julian is no different. Everyone's focused on every match as Ecuador looks to qualify for the World Cup and make history. That hope to qualify also serves as a welcome distraction to the people from the country's struggling economy. With some background on the world, you're eventually dropped into a school playground. You get a ball to kick around with some friends and a couple conversations to tune into that happen in the background. This serves like an intro to the more open-ended parts of the game. Then you're let loose in the local neighborhood park, an open playground that triggers a childlike mentality to freely explore, messing around with things and people as you please. It's up to you to decide what to make of the situation. The game doesn't urge you to interact with any of it. If anything, it does the opposite.
Le advierto una y muchas veces más, por favor, no se mueva de aquí. Así, llueva, truene, relampaguee, se queda sentadito aquí.
The map is small, but that adds to the charm as you find yourself revisiting the same places again and again, very quickly familiarizing yourself with the neighborhood like it was your own. You get a small window into the feel of Quito, Ecuador, and its people through Julian's hazy memories, as you learn about him through the situations you find him in, how other characters talk to him, and occasionally through his own narration.
Yo nací en 1997. Y la clasificación a ese primer mundial es quizás mi primer recuerdo.
I found myself jumping in on all kinds of conversations with random people in the game, and some of them aren't exactly nice.
Aquí aprendemos de los errores y avanzamos, locos.
¿Qué te haces el filósofo Vegeta?
Ahí se podría. Dale suave, loco.
But despite all that, Despelote is a very chill experience, even though the title refers to it being anything but that. It's not all slice of life though, as on 3 different occasions, the game cuts to abstract sequences to catch you off guard. The first time it happens, you find yourself kicking around a ball in a jungle, as it slowly turns into a concrete jungle boxing you in. And while I have a few theories on what it means, they're not quite concrete and I would love to hear some other interpretations. The second case is when Julian finds himself disassociating as he escapes into his game to avoid the interaction with his overprotective mother. He starts to see himself in third person. His mother tries to demand his attention, insisting it's important, expecting better communication between them from here on out. Me personally, having dealt with similar problems in my family, Julian's depiction hits home and feels really honest, even though he's being accused of lying in the scene. The white lies and commitment to honesty carries into the third case, where Julian chooses to shatter the illusion and throw you into an untouched 3D scan of what the park in the game looks like now in the present. he reveals that all the sequences we played through prior in that very park are just his fantasies of an alternate childhood. Because he never really got to play in that park as a kid. It makes you wonder if he feels like he missed out on a lot during his childhood, and the terrible looking 3D scan just adds to that sadness. Despelote is a personal diary posing as a game, a nostalgia-fueled trip through Julian's journey coming of age in a humble country sick with football fever. No movie can put you right in the center of a living, breathing world and make it possible for you to explore for yourself. Nor can it get across the same sense of idle play present in the game. Every interaction feels just a little more personal since you're the one participating in all of them. With Julian's father being a film director and his mom a producer, he grew up with a lot of cinema. He probably understands the strengths and weaknesses of each medium and saw his experience being a better fit for the game. Or maybe it's the other way around, where he wanted to build a game and found himself exploring his own past. Either way, the experience would lose a lot were it to be just passively taken in through the screen like a movie. Games as a medium is still largely unexplored as opposed to movies. And for creators, that's gotta be exciting. It gives them a lot of room to experiment and carve out their own unique mix of things. Unlike movies, games are a two-way conversation. They require your input to achieve the desired intention. They need you to engage to move forward. Movies are built for theaters, but games are built for you. Everything is tailored around you to get you immersed into the world and story. Despelote is a game because it wants you to actively engage with the stories and feelings on display. It urges you to be in the shoes of Julian and take in his point of view as your own.